Hello, great people. Nigerians are left in shock as images depicting Loca Obi as gay flood the internet. Loca Obi is reportedly the only son of Mr. Peter Obi, candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election. Is Loca Obi guilty as charged? On this episode of Politics with Joshua Plug, I will be taking you on a journey through how the scandal against Loca Obi evolved, and also I will be unveiling to you the personality of Loca Obi, and not only that, we'll be hearing from the father, Mr. Peter Obi. How does Mr. Peter Obi feel against any accusation that is being leveled against his son, his wife, or any member of his family? I will be playing that to you, and also we'll be hearing from Loca Obi himself. How does Loca Obi feel as regards all the accusation that is flying in the media space against him? And also we'll be reviewing the reaction of Nigerians. How are Nigerians reacting to the accusation against the only son of Mr. Peter Obi? Then afterward, I will be dissecting the associated issues for you as yours truly. And that is why, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, of course do well to subscribe to this channel. I think the first place to start is, how did it evolve? Well, suddenly there were some images that were flying all around the social media, and people were pointing accusing fingers that this is Mr. Peter Obi's son. And in that particular image, he was standing close with a man that is apparently an homosexual. So did the image flood the internet that look at Mr. Peter Obi's son standing with an homosexual? And as expected, because of the political lineage of his father, definitely the picture immediately went viral. And since then, Mr. Peter Obi have had to either face praise or backlash from the Nigerian people. But I will come back to that in a moment. Well, I must tell you that Loca Obi said he has no social media account. He reportedly has no social media account. And you may want to imagine that if Loca Obi has no social media account, then how did that picture made it through the internet? Maybe apparently from the social media handle of the man in that particular picture, or maybe from the person that even took the picture, or maybe from their friends. But you know how politics works, that definitely everybody will be on your trail, particularly in Nigeria. If you are in the political sphere, they will not only be looking out for you, they will be looking after your wife, your children, just to look for anything about your immediate family that they can use against you. And they apparently got Mr. Peter Obi in this regard. Now let us hear from Mr. Peter Obi as regards his reaction to the accusation being leveled against his son. Then when we come back, we would be hearing from Loca Obi himself, and also we'll be reviewing the reaction of Nigerians, and I'll be dissecting the associated issues for you. Let us go and hear from Mr. Peter Obi, then we come back for some great discussion. Let's watch it.
You can't quantify me with the life of my wife or my children. No. We have different lifestyle. You know, even if I'm traveling with my wife, people have seen it. People have seen my wife in business class. They've seen her in first class. I was in different class. I went in the same plane. Because that's what suits her. We don't quarrel with it. It suits him and it doesn't conflict my interest.
There you have it. You just heard from Mr. Peter Obi. I have some perspective as regards his assertion in that video, but I'll come back to that. Let us hear from Loca Obi, the son of Mr. Peter Obi, that is being accused of being gay. For the sake of fair hearing, I will be reading out to you the statement that he released, and I urge you to please listen attentively to Loca Obi's argument, because I will be dissecting some issues in between. And the statement reads thus. It says, "Dear Nigerians, I have refrained from engaging with the vitriol, scorn, and suspicion directed at me online because I was not raised to trade in lies or to indulge in false narrative. I did not do so as a child, and I will not begin now as a grown man. Because of my father's involvement in Nigerian politics, there has been a persistent curiosity and at times malicious obsession with me. Why? I don't know. I have no social media presence." You remember I reviewed that to you earlier on. I have no social media presence and no interest in maintaining one. So I rarely correct this falsehood, but perhaps it is time I address them. I understand that gossip follows those connected to public life. But let me remind you, my father is the one in politics, not me. To assume that my life or choices are somehow political statement is a false and childish calculation. It reveals more about the pettiness of those spreading such narratives than it does about me or my father. This pattern has become all too familiar. Individuals opposed to my father sees ordinary photos of me, images that are neither hidden nor secret, and repackage them with false stories. Now, I think I need to read that again for emphasis. Now, individuals opposed to my father sees ordinary photos of me, images that are neither hidden nor secret, and repackage them with false narratives. These are not revelations. They are not exposés. They are simply misrepresentations, fiction spun from pictures. I have seen this happen to others, but experiencing it myself repeatedly is deeply unsettling. Still, I want it to be known clearly. What is being circulated is gossip. That is the argument of Loca Obi. Let me read that line for you again. Still, I want it to be clearly known. What is being circulated is gossip. I am an actor by profession. Many are surprised given the businessman, entrepreneur, and economist my father is. I'm sure he imagined I might follow that path, yet though my career is far from what he envisioned, it supports me fully. Great dad, ain't it? Unlike many children of Nigerian politicians, I have never relied on nepotism. I was raised to know that my father's wealth is not mine and that I must build my own life. My choosing path is in theater and filmmaking, so far from the world he inhabits, which is politics. An industry that embraces diversity, that is the filmmaking industry, I must say. An industry that embraces diversity of class, race, sexuality, and identity. I portray characters. Now, listening to this argument, great people, I portray characters vastly different from myself, yet some online use these roles against me and my father, presenting fiction as fact. So that means that on one hand, Loca Obi seems to be arguing that because he is an actor, that sometimes he acts some roles and people will pick his particular action in those roles and present it as his image. So the big question is, has Loca Obi acted a movie, or has he played any kind of like gay role, or has he played the role of a supporting actor or the main actor to somebody that has acted as gay in a movie before? But let's continue his argument. It says, I trust any rational person can see how absurd this is. That is the what he called misrepresentation of fact as regards his role in acting movies. More importantly, Nigeria has far greater issues than idle speculation about what Peter Obi's son is doing. Our nation struggles with insecurity, a weakened economy, crumbling infrastructure, failing healthcare, and politicians who steal from the people they swore to serve. And yet, for some, the priority is to spread gossip about who Peter Obi's son appears with in a photo. This is a distraction from the real crisis that matter to all Nigerians. Well, the way Peter Obi's son, Loca, sounded in that particular paragraph, you can see that he happens to be the true son of Mr. Peter Obi, because he himself sound apparently political by listing the political, social, and economic problems in Nigeria and placing forward an argument that, well, I am not Nigeria's problem. These are the things that the Nigerian government and Nigerians should be focusing on. So he himself sound political in that regard. Now, let's continue. The truth is simple. Peter Obi's son appears in photos with his friends and colleagues, nothing more. If people wish to invent otherwise, I hope they sleep soundly knowing they are spreading lies. Nor I or my father are perfect men, and as father and son, we have our differences, but I can attest to his integrity and his relentless desire to lead Nigeria out of its current hardships in our home as a child. The lesson was always clear: face your work, do it honestly, and contribute to the good of others. That is what I will continue to do. So, to those who attempt to distract us with lies, I beg you, stop pulling attention away from Nigeria's urgent problems. My father asked my vote not because he is my father, but because he is the right man for the job. If others wish to go low, invent scandals, or attack me to wound him, they are free to do so. But we will go high, and we will continue to focus on the future of Nigeria. With love, Ose Loca. That is the statement released by Ose Loca Obi. The statement appears, to have some political undertone. So I'm suspecting that was this statement written on behalf of Ose Loca Obi to release. But then, since Ose Loca Obi released it and it takes ownership of all the statements written in this particular rebuttal, then we can argue that, Ose Loca Obi has debunked the argument that he is gay. Now, let us go to the reaction of Nigerians. Well, what I can say in that regard is, you see, as regards the reaction of Nigerians, if Nigerians love you, if Nigerians like you, you see, there's nothing you do that wants to make any kind of sense to them. There's hardly any negative thing you do that will make sense to them, in the sense that when this particular image of Mr. Peter Obi's son allegedly being gay was circulating online, I was reading the reaction of Nigerians, and I was surprised that people were saying that, this is not Nigeria's problem. What concerns you? We are not concerned about who Mr. Peter Obi's son is. As far as 2027 is concerned, they are arguing that they will vote to be. So I was reading I was expecting that there will be an outrage, that there will be an outcry that, oh, Mr. Peter Obi, you that want to lead Nigeria, look at what your son is allegedly doing. But then the reaction was quite different, and that is why I can only say that Mr. Peter Obi should not take the support of Nigerians for a ride, because the support that he got from Nigerians as regards the accusation against his son is quite surprising. I'm very sure that if it was Seyi Tinubu that was accused of being gay, Nigerians would have come hard on him, come hard on his father, come hard on his ancestors, come hard on his mother, and come hard on anything that has to do with Seyi Tinubu. So that shows the kind of love that Nigerians apparently have for Mr. Peter Obi. So now, having reviewed the reaction of Nigerians, I think let me add one to it, which is that of Seyi Law. And Seyi Law, apparently one of the ardent followers of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is one of those that usually speak against Mr. Peter Obi. He has something to say on the social media, and he wrote, "Now, family is off limit. I never insulted anyone first. It's okay, Sha, though it's painful. We should be careful not to become what we condemn." Seyi Law here was referring to when somebody, apparently unobedient, slide into his DM and threaten him that, his child is going to die, God forbid, and all that. So he's reacting to that. Now he's saying that, please let the young man, that is Ose Loca, let him be. He is not his father. Neither is he the one that made some people's choice. That is the reaction of Seyi Law. An unexpected reaction, I must say. What I can say from my perspective is that Ose Loca Obi, the only son of Mr. Peter Obi, candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election. First, let me start from the family. If Ose Loca Obi is truly gay, what gives me concern is who will keep the family name running. Because if truly he is what he is accused to be of, then who will keep the family name running? Because he is a man. If he gets married to another man, that is the end of the name of the Obi family from the lineage of Mr. Peter Obi. So he cannot afford to be gay, because Mr. Peter Obi needs someone to keep his family name running, and that person is no other than Ose Loca. And these are some of the reasons why some rich men in Nigeria don't like to relocate their son abroad. They don't like to relocate their son abroad because of some of the values, some of the culture, some of the belief in the diaspora, in the sense that there are some people that they believe that if they relocate their son abroad, all these, gay, lesbianism, all these kind of things, is are things that their children can imbibe. So in this regard, some people don't let their son relocate abroad when they are relatively young, just because of the difference in culture, belief, and values. And the problem is that if their son or daughter relocate abroad, if any accusation is made, definitely Nigerians will just jump in on that accusation, particularly if Nigerians apparently not to like you. But Mr. Peter Obi is quite lucky in this regard because Nigerians seem to have some affection for him. I don't know whether he will be that lucky if he's the incumbent president, and perhaps if he too is embarking on some failed policies like that of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, maybe the reaction would be different. But then Nigerians have been soft on him. But these are some of the reasons why some people don't like to relocate their son abroad. Another thing I can say is Loca is free to make choices. He's free to make his choice. He is a man. He's free to decide how he wants to live his life. But then again, he should always remember that the consequence of his choice will always be borne by his father. Why? Because of politics. In Nigerian politics, definitely anything you do will be rubbed on your father, particularly if it is negative. So Loca Obi is free to make his choice as a grown man, particularly if the country is residing, kind of like allow such a decision. But then again, he must always remember the house that he is coming from, because any decision that he takes or any action that he does will definitely rub on his father because of politics. It is always asserted that if you want to know the day your father met your mother and where they had intercourse that produced you, you should go and join politics, because politicians will trace it back that is it true that you are truly the son of your father. So definitely Loca should think of that, and that is where I seem to disagree with Mr. Peter Obi, because you cannot say that anything your wife or your children doesn't affect you. No, in politics it's not like that. They regard you as one and the same person, and anything they do will rub on you, particularly your immediate family that people can attach your name to. That that is Mr. Peter Obi's son. In fact, your name will even come first before they refer to that person. Mr. Peter Obi's daughter. That is Mr. Peter Obi's wife. So in that instance, in the political realm, you cannot dissociate yourself from the consequence of action of your child, your wife, or any of your family. I just hope that this particular issue will not be something of political consequence for Mr. Peter Obi, particularly in the North, because the North is something that doesn't tolerate such action. Because right now in the North, they are very kind of like conservative in the sense that, and should I say they are very religious. I don't want to use the word overly religious, but they are so religious to some extent that they barely accept, or there are some corners that they don't even accept non-Muslim or women to lead them. They see it as a taboo that if you are not a Muslim, you cannot lead them, and if you are a woman, even if you are a Muslim, they see you as unqualified to lead them. So in such a society, if you want to get their vote, this kind of scandal shouldn't be coming up. And I just hope that the APC won't use this against Mr. Peter Obi in 2027. They've been relatively silent, but then when the election is coming close, definitely they will bring this up. So expect such from the APC in 2027. It's been an interesting time. Subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past video. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.